Hello everybody. Guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to fix the game. Because I'm having a moment. Okay. Oh my goodness, it's so big. He's so big. I wish this would actually lock aspect ratio anytime I did this. Yeah, she does! Yeah. And since apparently I had to follow off stream, I'm just gonna play this real quick because it's silly.
Follow me, please. It is definitely not a trap.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, I will have the first part and second part on YouTube later, so I'll send you the links once they go up, so then you can watch it when you have time. Here, I'll even type it. Oh my god, I have to log in. No! I don't want to log in. Let's see. So I think I left off that we're actually like at the end of the game, so that's part of the reason why I started so late. We can solve puzzles. But I don't remember anything because I'm blonde. Oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff I didn't see before. Turning this down again because it's loud. Oh. I didn't know I could look at those.
That looks like it might belong to Poppy. What's this?
It's my case file. It's how I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
You mean to say you're bound by the limits of what's written in this little document? Sounds dreadful.
I found it comforting.
Charming, isn't it? Yes. Built by the Remington family originally. Dear Flora's father and his associates.
But now it's owned by you? By the Fellow family?
The Fellows and the Pointers have both come to claim a certain degree of ownership.
And who named it Tangle Tower?
Flora chose the name.
What does it mean?
I think it was her intention that it mean nothing at all. Something of a fresh start.
From what?
This really isn't for me to say, but she had some kind of disagreement with her siblings. After they moved away, Flora changed the name of the house. I think perhaps she hoped it would make them feel unwelcome, is less likely to come back.
That's kind of extreme.
Yes, it is rather, isn't it? Where did you find that?
It was in the library.
Technically, I've already done all my things for
How
him.
odd.
Let's see. Have I shown you everything, creepy lady? Not that you talk. Yeah, she doesn't talk. Let's see.
Not exactly a wealth of information, is it?
It's enough. So, which one is Tangle Tower?
What's that?
There are 2 towers, right? Flora's tower and your astronomy tower.
Neither? Truly, I have no idea. You'd have to ask Flora.
She named the house?
The whole thing is a result of her squabbling with her family.
With Felix, you mean? Her husband?
No, her brother and sister, and her father. The Remington family was a rather tumultuous little unit, you see. I don't think Flora has spoken with any of them in over a decade. Isn't the process of decay fascinating?
It's not really decaying. It's plastic.
It's becoming one with nature, all the same. Where on earth did you find that?
It was in a bush outside. I think someone threw it away.
How peculiar.
I have feelings. I think he's the bad guy.
Finally! I get to see a detective's case file.
That's a very specific thing to be excited about.
Only last week I asked that miserable Hawkshaw woman if I could see her case notes.
I'm guessing she said no.
Would have been much more polite if she had just said no. Instead, she was quite rude to me. Accused me of being, what was it? A shallow sensationalist. You know, it's probably quite impressive. To a visitor, fresh eyes and all that.
Not to you?
Try living in it for 20 years. The sheen wears off. If it wasn't for my fits, I'd have little reason to stay.
What about inheritance? You're the next oldest pointer after your uncle, aren't you?
Well, thank you very much for phrasing it like that. But no, any money left in the Pointer family will pass down directly to Poppy.
Is that fair?
I couldn't care less, to be perfectly honest. Hello. Who penned this juicy little number?
We don't know. It's not signed.
An anonymous letter? Classic clue.
There's something I noticed about Freya's knife wound.
Hit me.
From what we could tell, the blade went in at an exact right angle, perpendicular to Freya's body. And there's only one small pool of blood. Nothing on Freya's hands, or anywhere else. The whole thing is just a little too peaceful.
Getting all of them achievements.
We know a little more about the crime scene now. So, what do you think? Was Freya stabbed by her own painting?
What?
Blood from the paint pot was used to paint over the painted ink dip feather to hide the evidence. Nope.
No?
Blood from the paint pot was used to paint the red tip of the painted ink dip feather to hide the evidence. Almost. Maybe just change one thing. Blood from the paint pot was used to paint the red tip of the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife.
I think you're right. Can't decide if I'm disappointed or relieved.
I have a question. Why?
Either it's a very strange coincidence, or somebody set it up.
Somebody deliberately put blood in the paint pot and hid that feather after the crime. Why? To distract us?
Possibly.
Well, it worked.
Possibly.
Flora's the only person who could have hidden the feather, unless someone took it from her.
Let's go over what we do know. The door was locked the whole time. It stayed locked until Fitz kicked it down. Normally, it can only be opened from the inside. Pointer said he couldn't see Freya from his telescope, but he did see Flora lying by the window.
So whatever got Freya got Flora too?
Except Flora survived. She didn't get a stab wound like Freya did.
Hold on. If there was no knife, then what did stab Freya?
It could be anything. It might not even be important.
How is it not important?
Right now, I'm less interested in the what, and more interested in the how.
How do we know she's actually dead?
The angle of Freya's wound suggests she was stabbed at a perfect right angle. That is, from directly in front of her. But she was standing right up by the canvas.
Somehow, Freya ended up lying on her back, still perfectly in line with a painting.
Maybe something went through it.
Through the painting? Wouldn't that leave a hole?
Okay, well, how about this? How do we know Freya was stabbed before she fell over? Maybe her being stabbed and her falling over are completely unrelated. It's a garden, I think.
We could walk.
Ready when you are.
Oh yeah, we get to this upper floor.
What is that?
Not sure. Some kind of reel?
Looks like it might attach to something.
No idea.
Nothing catching my interest.
I'm sorry, is this spooky attic boring you?
Kinda. Someone painted out the window.
Do you think it was done recently?
No idea. Either way, it's pretty suspicious. What's in that little box? I bet it's bones. A skull, at least.
You know, maybe I won't open it. Just dusty junk.
It's a jar. The head screws off.
Huh. It's a statue of a wolf. Standing up straight, like a man.
You know, there's a name for that.
I know.
It's not quite as dusty as everything else up here. Also, it's not a statue. It's stuffed. At least the moths are kept well fed. Where's that light coming from?
Well, it's just daylight, I think. There's a decent gap between those floorboards. Is that what I think it is? Is that what I think it is? Is that what I think it is?
Where's that light coming from?
No, it's just daylight. There's a decent gap.
Jasper.
The attic's directly above us, right?
Yeah. The outline of Freya Fellow. There's a single patch of blood. No real sign.
That's weird.
What?
Her feet were right up by the canvas,
So?
so she was probably standing.
Let's check the case file again. Is this yours, Fifi?
I do not recognize it. And besides, I would have no use for such a thing. Perhaps it could be used to hang wet laundry?
Was that a joke?
Yes.
What is that?
I'm not sure. It looks like it attaches to something else.
Why don't you go back and double check the area you found it? Maybe you'll find the rest of the something else.
I'm not so sure about that. Oh.
What?
Oh. There's an O on the floor.
Oh, yeah. Tangle
Tower.
Where did you find this?
It was in the attic.
Oh, huh. I forgot we even had an attic.
I feel like I'm standing in a giant birthday.
Is that for sewing?
Maybe?
We have no idea.
For sewing?
Not the kind of lamp I...
It's cool. Looks like old mining equipment or something.
What is it?
We don't know. We were really hoping you would.
My friends, shed your hope and let it fall free like sandbags from a hot air balloon.
That's the most depressing idiom I've ever heard.
So he doesn't know what it is either.
What's this? Is it a clue?
We don't actually know. But Grimoire picked it up, so now he has to pretend it is.
That's how it works.
I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
Me 3. Oh, sorry. I thought you said me too.
Where on earth does this go?
Sally, you don't have a dust allergy, do you?
No. Do you?
Let me put it this way.
Tush!
What is that?
Not sure.
Looks like it might attach to something.
But I don't know what it attaches to.
Do you know what this is?
Guess not.
But I don't know where it would.
The whole room is a
Yeah, there might be a reason for that.
I don't know where this would go to.
It's piano music.
Weird.
It's someone humming a tune.
Now I know where to go.
The pond has little...
Yes.
You're superfluous.
The ground's moist. Wonder how often it
I
rains.
cannot believe how exciting.
What?
Wind chimes. Silent. Wooden wind chimes.
What?
Wind chimes. Silent. Wooden wind chimes. It's a garden, I think.
We could...
Ready when you are.
Oh, we get her to play her.
Yeah, it's mine.
Can you play the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized.
The main entrance. Oh, the bells.
Little bird feeder.
How do you know they're for birds?
That's all 4 melodies.
So, what do we do?
Should we go back to the gardens again?
Let's try this again.
You know, I think we might be able to solve this now.
Still locked. I'm sure we can solve this now.
Yeah, I know, but I had to look here. Eyeballs. 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 Okay.
Let's try this.
That's gotta be right.
Nothing. Maybe it's broken.
Wait, do you hear that? Where do you think it goes?
Down.
What? Oh, this is a bunch of science experiments.
It looks like they're being boiled, but the liquid is ice cold. What's in there? Nine beetles, all
Poor
different.
little guys.
There's a bunch of notes written all around them. It's mostly numbers. No idea what they mean. It's a little
That's
dark.
weird.
What?
It looks really normal compared to the beetles behind the glass. Is it locked?
Seems likely, doesn't it?
Oh,
Weird looking safe.
goody.
I'm pretty sure the latches can slide into the middle.
Okay. This is one of those kind of puzzles. Okay. Let's stretch them all out. Just get them all out. Can't do that. Okay. Okay. No, this has to go here. But that doesn't work. Okay, so these are all in their own designated layers too. Okay, so that makes it a little easier. Okay. So I don't have to worry about that so much. Okay. Okay. This is quite fit though. Because in theory that should... No, it don't work there either. Nope, wait. Oh, I'm cooking?
Nothing.
I think we're trying to make a path between the key and lock symbols on either side.
But I did... Oh, wait. I can't move this one. That's just a little off.
No, that was it.
Nice work.
Got it.
Anything inside?
Yeah, more research.
Alright. Weird.
Whose research is this?
no idea.
This is some seriously in-depth research.
That's impressive, but it's incomplete. There's a section missing.
So, this is Pointer's secret lab.
Definitely seems like he's the one using it.
I guess not a lot of people know about the secret entrance.
Right. But if Pointer's the only one who comes down here, why would he need to lock his research in a safe? Who's he hiding it from?
He's just paranoid, especially about his golden beetle.
What do you think he's trying to do exactly?
Oh, that's a good point.
Pointer has been trying to breed the golden beetle in Flora's tower. Almost. Maybe just change one thing. Pointer has been trying to breed the golden beetle in the underground laboratory.
Why? Because it's rare?
Because it's gold?
Is that it?
I think so. I don't think he cares about entomology any more than he cares about astronomy. He just wants to get one over on Felix. If he can breed his own gold, suddenly Poppy's inheritance is looking pretty,
Infinite. Might explain why he was so worried about losing the beetle. Maybe somebody did steal it.
Might have been Freya after all. We know she was trying to get through the secret door in the garden.
She might not have known what was down here, though. Maybe she was just curious.
Curious, sure, but not naive. I reckon she knew what was going on.
I think we're still missing the bigger picture. There's no way this is all just about a beetle. We're done.
We are?
Ready to go down? Again?
What's down here?
A single book on a little makeshift table.
This is creeping me out slightly.
Why?
I think it's a children's book.
It's an old coat rack.
Two cloaks, and a green hat draped on top for good measure. There's a roll of paper up there.
I'll see if I can reach it.
Let me guess. Blank. The Grand Hall.
What's that thing in the middle?
I think it's that big glass tube.
The rooftop garden. That name makes a little more sense in this context. It's the aviary. Misted Mansion, North Side cross-section. Is it not Tangle Tower?
Tangle Tower. Before the towers?
Storage.
It's Freya's room.
It's the aviary. Music room.
A bedroom.
Penny's room, I think. A bedroom.
That's Fifi's room, isn't it?
Study. Wait.
I know what you're thinking. And no, we never went in there.
How did we miss it?
This seems pretty significant.
Agreed. Old cardboard
How
box.
exciting.
Oh, but there's more. They're also damp and empty. Do these puddles worry you?
Why?
That's lake water, but it's indoors.
Ah, I see your point. We're too late. This photograph has been stabbed.
Why? By what?
Not sure. Some kind of metal stabbing thingy. So what's the photo? Do you know who it is in the photo? This man in the photo, he reminds me of something from one of our clues.
That's not right.
No?
That's not right.
Oh, yeah.
Felix made a little model of him for Flora.
Yeah, it makes sense when you know who he is.
Is it
Lord Remington.
Remington. That makes him Flora's father. Meaning the girl in the photo is...
Yeah, it's her. See the bird, too.
I never would have guessed. Times sure do change.
I don't know. I don't think she looks so different.
Let's not wander off right now.
Oh, no, you don't want to? Is there more to find here?
This room looks like old.
Makes the rest of the house seem relatively modern. It's an empty bookcase.
Something tells me it's been empty for a long time. Should we take another look?
Yeah. Old cardboard.
How exciting.
Oh, but they're also damp and empty. A single book.
This is
Why?
I think it's a children's book.
Don't know.
This room looks like
It makes the rest of the house seem relatively...
No, he did not. But he doesn't want us to leave the place. So, what am I missing?
A bunch of picture frames. And it's too dark to see.
It's not too dark. The frames are all empty. Should we take another look?
Yeah. Do these puddles...
Why?
That's like it's indoors.
I see your point.
What's in there?
Is that a lab coat?
Warning. Size, small. Rows of plants.
What color is the soil?
It looks black, but it's too dark.
Bugs.
Looks like they're made of metal. Let's not wander off right now. Let's not wander off right now.
Oh.
I can barely tell what I'm looking at.
It's a hatch.
But we're already.
Depends on your perspective. This room looks like
It makes the rest of the house.
I think I'm stuck. Oh. Eh. Eh.
This room looks like
It makes the rest of the house. It's an empty
something
book.
tells me it's been empty for. This room looks like
It makes the rest of the house.
So I'm missing something. But I don't know what I'm missing.
A glass tank?
there's a layer of condensation on the inside.
It's so dark. I can barely tell what I'm looking at. It's so dark. I can barely tell what I'm looking at.
This place would never pass a fire safety inspection. Forensic entomology.
That's an incredibly specific area of stuff.
Forensic entomology.
That's an incredibly specific area. It's so dark. I can barely tell what I'm looking at. We already solved it.
But I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
It's so dark. I can barely tell what I'm looking at. Hand-drawn entomology chart.
I don't know if there's something down here. Like, I get...
Should we take another look?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gives off kind of a...
What do people actually
Nothing
use?
good. This room looks like...
It makes the rest of the house. Let's not wander off right now.
But I don't know what you want me to do.
Should we take another look?
Yeah.
I'm a little stumped because it's not letting me leave, and I think I did something that I wasn't supposed to do.
This room looks like
It makes the rest of the house. A cracked glass tank with 9 little rooms. Each one has 1 or 2 insects inside. I can't tell if they're still alive.
I like that you called them rooms.
It looks like they're, but the liquid is ice cold. Hand-drawn entomology chart. The ladder leading back up to the... Let's not wander off. Let's not... Basement's still...
Or at the bottom must be.
Right, but if that's the
Like
lake...
what?
White, smooth, no plants. That's not what a lake looks like.
Where are we?
Didn't I click on this?
Did you notice how much light this room has? For a room with 1 candle?
It's all coming through the window.
I'm pretty sure lakes are supposed to be darker at the bottom, not lighter.
Why is there a room down here anyway? And why is it so much older than the rest of Tangle Tower?
We still don't really know why people came to live here in the first place.
Maybe they just wanted to get rich, like Pointer with his beetles.
I feel like the Remingtons came here for the lake, for what was in it.
It's empty, though. More empty than a normal lake would be.
It is now, yeah. Maybe we're too late. Let's head back up to the Grand Hall. I want to find that last room. Wow, it's dark all of a sudden.
Why is it spooky? Why is it spooky?
How long were we down there?
This must be it. This thing goes all the way up.
How are we supposed to get up there?
Hang on, it's pitch black, but I think there's a switch. A ladder.
Want to go up?
Oh. Oh.
Is that a crab?
It's got a translucent exoskeleton. You can actually see.
Also, crabs normally have 2 claws, right? Not 3? Ugh. You sure we should be touching it?
Grimoire, don't you think it looks familiar?
I guess that's
I don't think we need
What do you
to.
mean?
We have all the information we need in our case file. This crab really...
That little-
Yeah, but I think I've seen it more recently.
Yeah, it's in the book. Yeah. Yeah, it's side. Close. Okay.
They call this
What would you
the
call it?
of doom. Is that a
It's got a-
also crabs? Perfect. What's this?
Something somebody didn't want us to find.
Crossbow.
What is it?
Was someone trying to hide it? From us?
I don't know, but it looks incomplete to me. I want to know what happened to the rest of it. Where are the other parts?
We found them already. I think that might attach, but not this part of the crossbow.
No, wait, what?
I think that might, but not this part of the... We need something that could attach to them.
What do you make of it?
Not sure. Let's keep an open mind.
You don't think the crossbow is the murder weapon?
Oh no, the crossbow is definitely the murder weapon. But that doesn't mean we've solved the mystery. Dragon?
Snake?
Worm?
That's the one. An axe and some kind of hunting rifle, mounted on the wall.
Honestly, doesn't look like they've been moved in a few years.
I'm more worried about the third one.
The third one?
The one that isn't there.
It's a wooden pinboard hung up on one of the chains.
Looks like there's a couple of things missing from it.
It's a wooden pinboard.
Looks like there's a couple of things missing from it.
We must need a few things, because these are... Stop pushing buttons.
Crumpled up paper.
Is there anything written on it?
Not really. It's mostly blank. Crumpled up.
Is there anything?
Not really. It's mostly blank. An incinerator built into the wall. It's still pretty hot.
Is there anything left inside?
It's mostly ashes. But yeah, there's something.
No. Feather.
You know, in any normal... In here, though, it barely makes the top. Crumpled up paper.
Is there anything?
Not really. It's mostly blank. Coffee table, hat. I'm gonna say...
Someone complacent enough to leave their notebook lying around.
Someone's been using this room. I don't get it. This room is in the original building plans for the mansion. But nowadays it's some big secret?
It's not a secret to everybody. At least one other person still knows about this room.
The way the notebook was left out on the table makes me think it's someone who has the room all to themselves.
Whoever it was, they left more than just the notebook. There's a whole design project on this pinboard. Feels like someone put quite a bit of effort into it.
It's a shame there are things missing from it. I'm betting it'd make more sense if we could see it all together.
That might not be impossible, you know.
The painting from Freya's room and those sketches. Did Freya design Detective Hawkshaw's clothes? What kind of sense does that make?
I don't think that's why Freya made that painting, but it may have been why somebody took a photo of it to use as reference. And as for those sketches of Hawkshaw, I don't think Freya actually drew them. It was somebody else, someone with less of a talent for art.
Doesn't exactly narrow it down. Should we go ask Detective Hawkshaw about all this?
I'm not sure. I still don't know what's really going on.
Yeah, I don't know either.
That's how we got in.
Doesn't look like there's any other way to get in or out.
Let's not wander off right now.
What else am I missing?
Those aren't...
Some of them are disconcerting.
At least they're all empty.
You sure that's a good thing?
Oh, what's
Who
this?
are all the people in
Not
this?
sure, but it looks like someone didn't like them very much. Their eyes have all been crossed out.
And that Penelope?
That photo is important. I'm sure of it.
Another photograph.
Their faces are all crossed out with some kind of black ink.
That's weird.
Oh, you think so?
No, I mean, something I just realized. Sally, did we meet any of these people here at Tangle Tower?
Well, the woman on the left looks a little like Poppy, but her style is way different. And at first I thought the guy on the top right was Felix, but now that I look at it, I don't think it is him.
More mystery. Moira.
Time to solve this.
All right, break out the notebook. Time to put it all together.
Let's start with this. It's an arrow for the crossbow, and it matches Freya's wound. It's the murder weapon. I'm sure of it.
Despite the fact it doesn't have any blood on it, and it wasn't found anywhere near the crime scene.
Mm-hmm. It was cleaned, then it was hidden. I don't think anybody expected us to get down to that room at the bottom of the lake.
Okay, so Freya was shot by a crossbow. Where was it fired from?
It was fired from above Freya.
Above, huh?
Yeah, our diagram doesn't show everything. Let's add in the rest of the crime scene.
The attic.
Perfect hiding place. We even found a part of the murder weapon up there. The reel was used to pull the arrow back up through the crack in the floorboards.
Explains why we never found a weapon at the crime scene, I guess.
The murderer must have dropped the reel in the attic. I'm guessing they were in a hurry to escape.
Wait. The arrow was fired through the crack in the floorboards?
Yeah, it's directly above where Freya was found lying on her back.
Nope. Doesn't add up. It would have missed her if she was still standing up by the painting.
Ah, right.
Unless... Freya was already lying on her back. before the arrow was fired.
I think so too. She'd fallen unconscious.
Something in the room caused Freya to fall unconscious.
I don't think it was paint fumes. Maybe the gramophone?
The gramophone.
Right.
But the gramophone by itself can't do that.
There was something in the gramophone.
Mm-hmm. Something small.
Oh. What was in the gramophone? Was it this one?
That's not it.
Okay.
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
I don't know.
That's not it.
Pointer's research says it can emit an incredibly loud hiss when it feels threatened.
Aha.
Poppy and Fitz both said they heard a loud noise around the time of the murder. Neither of them had any idea what it was.
This seems a little far-fetched. Is it really loud enough to knock someone out?
No, I don't think so, not by itself. But don't forget, it was being amplified by the shape of the gramophone. Now, I don't think we're purely talking about volume either. It might just be a particular type of frequency.
This is getting kinda scientific. Since when do you know anything about the effects of weaponized audio frequency?
I don't, but I think someone else does. Do you remember that statue we found in the music room? The horn it's playing. It's a pretty similar shape to the one on the gramophone. That broken glass isn't there on accident. This is someone's science experiment.
Thinking about it, Pointer said he saw Flora was knocked out too. I guess they were both in range of the noise, although Pointer might have been lying.
Personally, I think he was telling the truth about that. It's pretty clear a powerful frequency did pass through Flora's tower. Caused quite a bit of damage too. Those cracks didn't appear out of nowhere. Freya's paints, the pink cassette tape, and the gramophone itself, they all sustained similar damage while they were in that room.
That's some seriously powerful vibration, enough to crack metal, enough to knock someone out all the way across a room.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't get. If the frequency was so powerful and had such a big range, how did the murderer pull it off? Wouldn't they have been in range too? Think about it.
They had
They
the
can't have been much
headphones.
further away from the gramophone than Flora was.
They protected themselves.
How?
With the headphones.
These are some pretty heavy-duty earmuffs. I think they'd be enough to block out the sound.
Right. Let's go over everything from the start. 1. Freya is painting Flora's portrait. They're listening to music on the gramophone.
2. The murderer is hiding in the attic, wearing earmuffs.
3. The golden beetle starts to emit its hissing noise.
Hold on. How did it know?
The beetle?
Yeah, what triggered it at that particular moment? Pointer's research said it makes the noise when it feels threatened.
I'm not sure. Maybe something in the music?
Maybe.
4. Freya and Flora are both knocked unconscious by the vibrations. Freya lands on her back. She drops the brush and pallet by her side.
5. The murderer fires the crossbow directly downwards.
6. The arrow is pulled back up on the reel.
7. The murderer leaves the attic, presumably.
8. The door is kicked down. Fitz and Poppy enter the room.
That's it. There's something bothering me.
What?
I just want to check something. Let's go back to the crime scene. I can see the stars.
The answer is in the painting. I'm sure of it.
The plant. It's in the book.
What?
Look. Freya, did you leave us a clue?
She never used yellow.
So what's bothering you?
Something that's not here. The thing we didn't find. We know she was holding it during the painting.
Flora's ink dip feather?
It was here. In this room. Where'd it go?
We found it somewhere else. We were a little too late to save it.
So it was stolen from the crime scene. And ended up in the incinerator down in the study.
Someone wanted to destroy it, I guess.
But how? How was it stolen from up here in Flora's tower?
Presumably, Flora dropped it when she fell unconscious.
Yeah, and then what? The murderer couldn't have stolen it if they were up in the attic.
So the question is, how could they steal something from a room they weren't able to access? The final clue about the crime scene. Freya left it for us right here. It's in the unfinished painting. It's not quite a photo, but still, it's an image of the crime scene recorded just before the murder.
Yeah.
If only she'd finished it, and then I could be totally sure.
It's true she never finished it, but she did intend to finish it.
Meaning?
We know more about the painting than what Freya actually got down on the canvas.
Where's your paints? Where's the palette?
Freya prepared all the colors she was going to need before she started painting. The yellow paint was going to be used to paint the sketch of something sitting in the window.
Something in the window. Oh.
That's not it. That's not it.
Something yellow that was in the window.
That's not it. There she is, our little thief.
How long has it been there? Did it hear the whole conversation?
She did. But she's a very good listener.
What?
Well now, I think this has quite served its purpose, don't you?
Penny, why did you...
It's Penelope, if you don't mind.
I was right!
But before we begin, isn't there a certain formality demanding our attention?
Ooh. I'm not sure she's the murderer, though. I wanna... Oh! I don't know! I don't know! Can I go back if I do the wrong answer? I don't know. We're gonna leave her untied.
I'm afraid I have to insist. It's... Lovely. Now, tell me. What was it that drove you this far? I'm ever so curious.
I just need to know the truth.
Is that right? Interesting.
I mean, also justice for Freya, but what?
Why did you do it, Penny? What did Freya do to you?
Absolutely nothing.
So, what? You just hated her indiscriminately?
Freya Fellow was an inspiration to us all. She was possessed of a great energy. The volition to create something from nothing. The willpower to walk beyond her boundaries. She was truly free. Everything I couldn't be.
You know what? I just realized I actually have no idea who Penelope Pointer really is.
Weird, isn't it? Considering we've met her, what is it, 3 times now?
Exactly. How do we know this one isn't a disguise too?
You think you've already hollowed us out, don't you? Only a few short hours at Tangle Tower, and you feel like you've got everyone sussed. Unearthed every single one of our secrets. Nothing but bullet points for your notebook. Go on, indulge me. What does it say in your notes about Penelope Pointer? I suppose I can't argue with that, can I?
Penny, we only know what you choose to tell us, so why not help us out?
Very well. Penelope Pointer is actually not very important at all. She pales in comparison to those who came before her and to those that came after. Living at Tangle Tower, it is very difficult to attain the levels of self-realization you probably take for granted.
You sure this is a Tangle Tower thing and not a you thing?
Perhaps you didn't notice. Not one of them is happy. Not one.
So why stay? Why not just leave?
I thought she did leave. Penny, you said you traveled, didn't you?
I did. Many times I've walked away. It did not help me. You saw the family tree hanging in the grand hall, did you not?
Yeah, it lists a bunch of people who don't live here anymore.
A bunch of people who don't live here anymore. I couldn't have put it better myself.
Then why'd you
My
come
mother,
back?
for one. My father, too. The other two Remingtons. Poppy's mother, Primrose. And her brother, Richard.
And Fitz's father.
That's 5. 5 people that might have lived here, but don't.
And that was the first question I wanted answered.
You wanted to know where they'd all gone?
More than that, I wanted to know if I belonged with them. I have no place here. Not among the Fellows, the Remingtons, or the Pointers. But I felt there must be a reason why everyone else left. Some common purpose they all shared. Perhaps it could be my purpose, too.
So, what did you actually do about it?
Nothing I could do, at first. Nobody would tell me anything. The more questions I asked, the fewer answers I got. Then, I found it. I was 19. Same age Freya is now.
Found what?
The study. Either the study or the attic.
The study. The one hidden in the middle of the house. It's right next to a bedroom.
I'd hear voices at night. Deep ones. And the strangest thing, the wall behind my bed would get incredibly hot. For hours on end. The paint would peel. Wallpaper wouldn't stay up. I thought I was cursed. I thought it was something trying to break through. Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore. I found my way in the same way you did. Once you know it's there, it's simple.
So, you got into the study and found the incinerator. That must have been a relief, right?
It was still warm when I found it. Then, I looked inside. Let's see how thorough you've been. Tell me, do you know what a misted is?
Misted?
What?
What?
As I expected. After all, their connection to the...
Sorry, what are we talking about?
It's a collective term. From before birds, insects, amphibians, anything. The mutation can take several generations, or it can happen overnight.
Wait, mistids, like cryptids, like Bigfoot or whatever.
A little egregious, isn't it? I suspect that was an intentional parallel. The main difference being mistids are perfectly real. They're just kept secret. Or at least, that was the original plan. As it happened, some got out. Quite a few got out.
How do you know all this?
When I entered the study at 19, I found a single object that rather changed my life. Something which answered my questions while at once creating all new ones.
That's not it.
That's not right.
What did she find? The bird book?
That's not right. That's not right. That's not right.
What did she find in the study?
That's not right. That's not right. That's not right.
The 5 missing family members standing together as a single unit, calling themselves the ambassadors of Misted Mansion.
So, the house was renamed from Misted Mansion to Tangle Tower?
And rightly so. The age of Misted Mansion is long past. When I looked inside the incinerator on my first visit to the study, I found nothing but ash. The afterimage of a bygone era, denied to me in its entirety. The study, the room at the bottom of the lake itself. All empty shells. I felt my only hope lay with the ambassadors. If I could find them, maybe they'd share the family history that Flora and the others were trying so hard to forget.
How did you track them down?
It was tough. They'd taken almost everything. Books, maps, charts, the creatures themselves, all lost, taken away or destroyed. But I got lucky. I got a lead. I found one, and he led me to the rest.
And? What happened? Why'd you paint out all their faces?
They didn't help you either, did they?
19-year-old me had imagined they'd all left with a mission, a unified purpose, but they hadn't. They were, in fact, every bit as fractured as the people that still live here. Most of them had left tracking escaped mystics. Some claimed to be researchers, others little more than hunters. All 5, completely useless to me.
Even your own parents?
Eventually, I returned to Tangle Tower. I had nowhere else to go. I considered giving up. But instead, I made a decision. There was only one person at Tangle Tower still of interest to me. My dear Uncle Pointer had suddenly made a show of taking up astronomy. A fairly superficial charade. I don't think many people were fooled by it. But I knew it wasn't just a falsehood. It was a mask. Pointer had found something from the era of Misted Mansion.
So where did he get the beetle?
I cannot be sure, but I theorize that he received it in the post.
In the post? From who?
Who can say? Someone outside Tangle Tower. But the thought that he would be in contact with such a person, all that time, I decided to take what was owed to me.
So you stole it.
Stealing the beetle turned out to be only the first step. Upon realizing it was gone, Pointer made little effort to disguise his frustration. I asked what was bothering him. He foresaw no risk in sharing a little of the truth with his niece. He told me he'd lost a rare treasure, something he'd been keeping safe. I suggested, innocently, that perhaps it was not lost. Perhaps it had been stolen. He was very ready to believe he'd been the victim of theft. When I offered to call in a private detective, he jumped on the idea. She arrived the next day. Hawkshaw prides herself on her punctuality, as you know.
Why, though? Why go through all that? The name, the costume, and everything?
It's somewhat sad to admit, but I had little use left for Penny Pointer as she was. Hawkshaw afforded me new advantages, opportunities.
But didn't you have to pretend to be working for Professor Pointer?
Well, that was one of the advantages. Pointer was in such a desperate state, he was finally willing to share some of his secrets. On the second day, Hawkshaw explained she needed to be able to search the secret laboratory. Pointer gave in and gave me the code for the harp statue. Reluctantly, but still.
So, you stole Pointer's research?
I would have done, if I'd found anything worth stealing. But he had made remarkably little progress, barely scratching the surface of the beetle's true mystery.
Which is?
It carries an exoskeleton approximately 90% identical to gold. But it's not the 90% I'm interested in. Did you ever question what exactly makes the water here so unique? Before Misted Mansion was built over the lake, before the lake was even a lake, Lord Remington and his wife built a small structure here, a research station, supposedly. Fast forward 2 or 3 generations, and as you saw for yourself, it's been mostly cleared out.
The ambassadors took everything when they left.
And everything they didn't take was burned in the incinerator. However, possessing additional insight, I found something the others had missed. It's not much, but I have what I need.
So, why isn't this the end of the story? Why did you stay? Why did you kill Freya?
Did she kill Freya? Maybe she did. I don't think she killed Freya, though.
Simply put, Freya was too good for me. It's my fault. I pushed her over the edge, unknowingly, but still, I take the blame.
What are you talking about?
Did you know I based the design for Hawkshaw on something Freya painted?
Yeah, it was the...
That's right. I had assumed it was purely abstract. I just thought it had a good energy. I later discovered it was a figure of some kind, something from Freya's recurring nightmare. For all her vitality, I think Freya was probably the most troubled of all of us. She was desperate to leave Tangle Tower, but she couldn't just walk away. For quite some time, she'd been trying to break into Pointer's laboratory. Freya and her friends were halfway through deciphering those symbols on the harp statue, I believe.
Why did she care about getting into Pointer's lab?
That's exactly what I wondered. At first, I thought perhaps she just wanted to free the beetles. She has a fondness for them. What Pointer was doing upset her significantly. But in fact, I think it was something else. I think she wanted to free Fiona. The real reason Freya was unable to leave Tangle Tower is that she could not get Fiona to agree to come with her. We're now firmly in the realm of speculation, but I think Freya felt that exposing the darker secrets of Tangle Tower, not just to the rest of the family, but to the world, would compromise all three families, and perhaps, somehow, free Fiona from the shackles of her inheritance. That was her plan anyway, but something happened. Before Freya could find her way into Pointer's laboratory.
She found her way into your study, found your notes, found that photograph. I'm willing to bet she put it all together quicker than we did.
So she worked out what had happened to the 5 ambassadors. Specifically, what you'd done to them when they refused to help you.
Freya had made a promise to paint Flora as a birthday gift, a parting gift no less. She'd be in a locked room, several hours away from her friends. It was my best chance.
Did murder her.
But why hide in the attic? And why bother with the beetle at all?
The beetle in the gramophone wasn't for Freya. It was for Flora. She didn't deserve to be involved. She suffered enough. I couldn't get Flora out of her room, but if she could be unconscious, then she wouldn't have to witness anything.
Why the knife? The illusion of the painted knife with the blood.
That was for Fiona. And Poppy too, I suppose. Gave them something to focus on.
You mean it distracted them while you made your escape?
It helped them cope. The very idea of something abstract, something supernatural. I believe it made things marginally less painful for them, initially. Worked on you, too.
So why are you still here? Why not take your first chance and leave?
Well, I've been waiting for an opportunity to get my beetle back. I'd really rather not leave without it.
Wait, it's still here?
It's still inside the gramophone.
Well...
What's going on?
Poppy, they are both awake.
I can see.
You two all right?
My head hurts. What happened to us?
You were both unconscious. 14 minutes by my count.
Really?
You're both fine. No injuries.
Was it the beetle? In the gramophone? I heard it through the ceiling in my room.
The exact same sound we heard before the murder.
I guess it must have been.
So how did we get down here? What happened to Penny?
Fitz saved both of you, obviously.
When I reached Flora's tower, you were both unconscious, and Penny was crouched down beside you. She had her crossbow on her, but who knows? She may have just been checking you were both asleep.
Did you know that she was the murderer?
Poppy and Fifi suspected her. Apparently, they were pretty close to solving it themselves.
Fitz did not want to believe us, because he liked Penny. A lot.
But what happened? Fitz, what did she do when she saw you?
She jumped out the window.
What? Did she survive?
She did.
I heard something land in the garden outside my room, but by the time I got out there to check, she was already gone.
Hang on. Poppy, why do you have Penny's hatbird?
She left him behind. I found him sitting on the floor in the aviary, all by himself. Poor little thing. The mean lady didn't care about you at all, did she? No, she didn't.
I apologize. Poppy seems to be under the illusion that the bird can understand human language.
So, Penny got away.
I'm afraid she did.
We had suspected she might try to escape. I was stationed here by the lake's edge. I proved to be an ineffective guard. She took the boat.
Did she take the beetle with her?
Nope,
How do you know?
because it's right here.
It was still in the gramophone. I guess I scared her off before she had a chance to take it.
Poppy, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to give it back to your father?
No, I'm not. It doesn't belong to anyone. So, I'm going to put it on the ground and never bother it again.
Yay.
I think that's what she would have wanted.
That was really good. I never succeed. I can't believe I missed Penny being the murderer the whole time, though. I got how she was murdered. But I think how it was explained, it seemed like Penny would have had to traverse all the way back to her room. She must have been as Hawkshaw. That makes way more sense. Bye-bye, Beetle. Well, that was pretty good. Well, since that is the end of the game, I will be uploading these probably in the next few days to my YouTube channel so people can watch and see how I flounder about. But reminder that my stream schedule has changed, so I will be actually on my normal stream schedule starting tomorrow. We'll play some Monkey Island or Hades. I actually haven't decided yet, because yeah, Hades sounds really fun to do right now. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and I hope to see you again soon.